Greetings, Taekwondo family. Welcome to Miami Minutes, the show that crushes the competition each and every week. I am one of your hosts, John Parker.
And here, who may seem like he's sitting doing absolutely nothing, but is actually, that's a mere trick, because I'm actually in action without you even knowing it. It's me, Niall McGowan.
Yeah, much like we said last week, very similar to John Cleese in Holy Grail. In fact, in the blink of an eye, you are up and about, aren't you? Much like someone else.
We'll get to that, but I think that might be, he's actually, through Yoshito, has learned some sort of sorceress, like, bizarre supernatural martial arts abilities. But we'll get to it.
It's definitely magical. It really is. Like Disneyland.
Or it's just going to be like in Speed. But we'll get to it.
Oh, God. This is minute 66, and the minute starts with Dark Mark. And it ends with the Jack attack being knocked back.
Hey, you're looking to write yourself a Batman outro here or something, John? What's going on?
I learned from the best. Vanilla Ice.
Oh, you set me up, you son of a...
Well, you know, I don't want to be with the Zero.
Who's that? I was going to try to make a joke about Mark there, but no, it wouldn't have worked.
How dare you infer that he could be a Zero?
I got minorly distracted there too, because I paused on second 4, which is, it's a shame that the image isn't slightly like crisper because everything's in motion, but it is an amazing image. It's got potential Vader, not Vader, with that like the barrel spindle thing over like across his shoulders, bent down on one knee, gut hanging out from the bottom of the shirt, Mark banging on it with a metal pipe, and the look on his face of just like, Gah! And it's like, it is a fantastic image. I think it should have been the poster for the film, quite frankly. Like,
that's all you need. In fact, you know what? Already, that could be a contender for image for the episode.
Oh, there we go.
I know it's a little bit blurry, but a lot of the ones I've had to use are, because even if you go frame by frame, it's been difficult to actually get anything that's not in motion.
No, I think the only time I haven't come across that problem myself was just last minute for Batman, because it was animated when we were doing Mask of the Phantasm. Every image is still already, so it's like you can pause anywhere and everything's going to be perfectly crisp because they don't animate in a blur, you know? So
it's not the same, is it? It's a totally different type of film.
Yeah, but then every other season, for like the first 4 seasons, there was a continual like, oh, this will be the image. God damn it. Just sits. Oh no, went too far. Oh no.
You spend about an hour trying to. You're like, God, fucking drift.
But we just come in. You know, this might be a potential use for AI here. Just to define the guy's face a little bit more, because then that would be a perfect. Like I would have that as a landscape on my computer or something, you know. But
you know what, I'm against a lot of AI related things, but now one episode's image, I am gonna get it from like Chat GPT, just for a joke. I like show me Mark on the moon or something.
you know the film Clue, right?
Yes.
With Tim Curry. Because I was just really pleasantly surprised the other day. Like a friend of mine, I was hanging out with them, and I noticed the background on their phone is just the picture of Madeline Kahn when she does that bit where, like, there's a bit where in Clue where she's talking about how much she hates someone, and it's clearly, because it's the funniest thing in the whole movie, it's clearly improvised by Madeline Kahn because it's just so out of nowhere. But she starts this whole business of going, I hate him so, flames on the side of my face, and then like it's great because it's in the middle of Tim Curry's monologue, and he's just standing smiling and she's saying it, and then he just goes into anyway and just tries to wrestle back the scene from her and stuff. But I was just so happy to see, like, they had no idea this person was into Clue or Madeline Kahn, and I just noticed that the background on their phone was just like, oh, this is a picture of Madeline Kahn going flames on the side of my face. But anywho, we have not even begun.
Minutes.
We have not even begun to talk about the minute yet.
We have not, but as you sort of alluded to, we are back as Mark continues his war with Vader 2, the knockoff Vader.
Yeah.
And he gets to his feet after being knocked down, and he grabs another one of these. What did we decide to call it? Like a spool, like a big block thing.
I think I was calling it a spindle, but I think a spool is more accurate than what the term I was going for. Yeah.
I think you might be right with what it is, though. 'Cause I can't imagine what the hell else this is.
Yeah, it's either that or it's going to be like part of a column or something. But I think it would be just the thing you wrap cables around. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because it seems to have that specific shape. Because it's not round. Because if it was round, it might maybe unravel. It's like no. It's this very specific shape, so things can like wrap around and stick to it.
And he seems to be holding it by there's like little balls at the end. So that's what he's gripping. he's got a good grip on those balls. But instead of it just been, it was, something that it could be like, well, those are clearly there to be held by something in order to lift. So, yeah. And if it was part of like a column or part of, a girder or something, I don't think they would have these random balls sticking out to like obstruct,
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
No.
I mean, listeners, if you do know what this is, let us know because... I mean, I tried to look it up and I couldn't find anything. So I'm going with Niall's guess.
I'll say too. I believe we were in our questioning about whether this is Vader or not. I think by the end of like the first 20 seconds, it's pretty clearly not Vader because I know he pops up later. Yeah, and I don't think this guy makes it out of this minute alive. I'm pretty sure this is Body 2 on Mark's hit list, and it's only been 2 minutes. Goddamn.
Oh yeah, Mark goes full on, doesn't he? Because first he gets him with this like swift attack, a pole bash, then a kick to the chest, and the guy falls down, and this thing lands on top of him. Which hoisted, Jesus Christ, yeah,
smushed by his own spool. It was like hoisted by his own baton.
Hoisted, yeah.
But then, as you're saying too, they get Dark Mark. It's like in Friends, Red Ross or something, or it's just like Mark's been hit by like red kryptonite or something. It's like he has just fully gone into the mindset of like, it's like, oh, I know, guys, you think I'm all love and friendship and all that, but you should know when we get in here, I am going to completely change personalities.
Rightly so. I'm on his side. They've kidnapped one of his best friends, tortured him, tied him up. Like, you deserve it.
I don't know if they deserve death,
I'm with him. I'm with him. Fuck it. If you don't want to die, don't kidnap someone.
But then there's this guy, like, it sounds like it's a pretty, and actually, no, in theory, if we get this, like, unless we're skipping over anything too major here, he gets another kick to the chest, then he's down, then Mark just starts leaning in, like, puts his foot on top and starts pushing down, and, like, basically, the implication is that he would be crushing this guy's rib cage.
Yeah.
And, like, simultaneously, like, I guess suffocating him, but also just breaking the entire top half of his body. I
expected him to burst like a balloon.
I feel like if this was a bigger budget movie, I have a feeling they would have thrown in an effect of, like, his eyeballs popping out, or like, his guts coming out of his mouth. Because even the sound of him going like, like that could have gone on under like, just blood gushing everywhere. It sounds like he's like, this is like Jason Voorhees level kind of stuff.
Well, that's what makes it even more, because Mark killing someone with a blow to the neck, that's not as violent as this in a way. Because even though that's gorier, it's bloodier.
That's in the heat of the moment. That's in the midst of battle. It's just like, okay, this is a quick blow. And then, it happened to break open this guy's neck.
This is a slow, torturous, like, decision he's made.
Yeah, this guy is down. You could just go over and kick him in the head and knock him out or whatever. But this is like a deliberate thing of like, okay, so in order to finish him off, I am going to crush his entire body by just leaning my entire weight on it. And then just like, it's going to be a horrible, slow death. And Mark doesn't know this guy. Like, if this was Jeff, fair enough. But he doesn't know this guy. This is like, he could be, this is, going into Austin Powers territory of like, well, he might have just been, maybe he's hard up. And he just like, oh, Jeff is like, I'll pay you $50 to come out and just like wave a stick around, But,
1,000%. Like, this guy could be anybody.
Yeah.
But look at Mark's eyes. The bloodlust has taken hold now.
Yeah. He's going to be like, and the people, like, afterwards, the Dragon Sound walking back out, is like, what the hell happened to that guy? Nothing. Just keep walking.
It reminds me of, in a weird way, Enter the Dragon, right? Because everybody loves, like, loads of the bits of that, and there's the famous bit where it goes really slow motion for, like, a good solid minute, and he's just like, and it goes on and on. But if you actually pay attention to that minute, He snaps a guy's neck.
Yeah.
And people gloss over that. It's like, hang on, Bruce Lee just broke a man's neck for no reason at all. He wasn't told to, was he? He's an undercover, like, James Bond kind of guy.
But this scene reminds me of, like, I remember this being a big debate. I might have even brought this up on the show before, just because in terms of, like, the brutality of the minute. But, there was a bit in Dirty Harry where, like, the Scorpio killer has a girl held hostage and she's, like, suffocating to death somewhere.
Yeah.
And then Harry just, like, shoots him in the foot. And then he goes over and he just, like, starts stomping on his foot, basically, going, "Where's the girl?" and all this kind of stuff. And then, and there's a big major debate of, like, well, that's, and the Scorpion's like, "He tried to kill me," and all this, like, and then, the whole thing afterwards, like, "Damn it, Harry, that man had rights," and I'm all broke up about that poor man's rights, and
McGonagall.
yeah. But I remember getting into, like, the debate with people over that about being like, well, girl was dying, he did what he had to do, and they're like, how could you say that? It's a violation of a man's human rights. It's like,
well, it's the eternal dilemma of policing, isn't it? It's a genuine, interesting sort of social discussion.
Yeah. But this reminded me of that. But I think in Dirty Harry, it's a discussion to be had because he was as right-wing a character as Harry Callahan is, and as deplorable a human being as Clint Eastwood is, and stuff I found out about him, and the way he screwed over Sandra Locke and stuff. And recent weeks, I've only discovered this, and I was like, wow, Clint Eastwood is a scumbag. But, like, set all that aside, at least the debate there is, like, he was trying to save the life of a complete innocent, and this guy was a serial killer.
Yeah, whether the methods were evil or bad or whatever, like, at least there was a good intention, there was a good goal.
Yeah, but Mark is getting nothing. Like, the fight is over. Like, the guy is down. And he is basically going in for, like, it seems as if he's almost relishing in the fact that, like, yes, and now to just, like, take out my rage. I'm going to watch you. Like, he's leaning in, watching the guy suffer and stuff.
That's the thing, right? Because I actually, you know what? Ultimately, in Mark's defense, the guy tried to kill him. The guy tried to hit him with this thing. If he hit him with that, he would die. But if Mark wants to even kill him by crushing him, he could just jump on the thing and then bounce off, like, but it's the slow linger and the staring into his eyes as he does it. It's like,
it's borderline into, like, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
Yeah.
Like, what are you? I'm like, oh, he's dead.
oh crap! Oh, he's exploded. It made me think almost of the Game of Thrones bit where he crushes his head. The only bit I couldn't watch.
Oh, Pedro. Spoilers for. Well, no one watches Game of Thrones.
No, nobody cares anymore, anyway.
That's my every time I see Pedro Pascal, I'm like, oh, there he is. The old head smushed over there.
Oh, I had to turn away. I couldn't. But I do like the way here the guy, when he falls down with the thing, actually, I forgot to mention this. He falls down in a very controlled manner. Because I don't think that's a prop.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's real. So he's like, hang on, I need to, like, go down safely here.
This whole thing, I'm assuming, is happening at night because this is just an abandoned building site,
1,000%,
or like a derelict building that got, like, imploded a while ago. And they're just like, okay, so we can get in there between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. and let's try to get that entire fight filmed
before the builders come round in the morning.
So yeah, I would not be surprised. And, like, the reason he got this part is because he's the guy who could lift it.
Yeah. Like, anyone here lift this? You're getting this fight scene then.
And a whole bunch of other guys come. That's why maybe it is the same actor who played Vader. That's why he's so prominently featured, because you're like, he doesn't seem like he would be all that skilled a fighter. Why has he been put in this prominent part in Miami Connection? It's like, no, he's the only guy who could lift this giant friggin' metal and wooden and whatever else went into making that spool thing. And got himself a part. And then, he got himself 2 parts, and one of them is no more, I'm going to say. I also wonder, too, if they did multiple takes, because you notice that, like, we said he was sweating a little bit previously, but in the opening of this minute, it seems as if there's, like, a big sort of black dirt smear on his jumper. And I wonder if that's because he was already under the thing and it left that there, and they're like, no, let's do it again. And they couldn't clean it off. So now all of a sudden he has this big stain where there was no stain before.
I think you're right, because At least, unless we're forgetting something, there's no reason he would have a stain like that at this point, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's sweaty, but he's not that sweaty. He's not, like, darkening the fabric any, like, noticeable, like, oh, man, that's just a burner job right there. Like,
and it's all over his trousers as well. Like, he's already been laying down.
Like, this is probably, like, take 3 or whatever the run of this. So.
Although, if you notice, right, at first glance, it looks like he has boots on, but I think he's wearing some nice shoes with lovely socks. I don't think they're boots. Look, they look like nice work shoes you'd wear to the office.
See, I got so hung up on Mark's shoes because he has a very sort of. I was wondering. This was a thing I bemoaned the lack of because we of course have many internet movie whatever databases at our disposal. So we have the car database, which we've brought up in this show previously. The firearm database, which has also been brought up. You got your motorbikes, all that kind of stuff. I'm kind of surprised that there's no shoe database. Because that's
right, yeah.
That feels people love shoes. So, and they feature so prominently in costume departments and stuff.
Well, surely the people who are into feet also like shoes, because that's like lingerie for the foot, right?
You're missing your. You're missing your calling as a marketer, John.
Or is that socks, maybe? Maybe socks are the lingerie.
I say socks, because at least then you can see the outline of the foot and stuff. Lingerie is a bit more because it's tight into the body and it's silky.
Well, maybe a shoe is like fetish wear.
I guess it would be, yeah. It's a nice leather and rubber sole.
You can't quite see everything. You got to imagine what's under here.
But you going into just any shoe company and just having that logo. And like, who will buy this from me?
Creeps.
And then we see you as later, Adidas. They might be like, well, we got how much you want for it? Like $2 million. Like, yeah, we'll buy that for $2 million. Yeah, why not?
Adidas, it's the lingerie of the foot.
So gotta just put it in their back pocket. The $2 million is nothing to us. So it's been 20 years' time we have some sort of thing to tie into that. Hey, we got it on file.
Well, what do you reckon then? I think they're nice, like almost like a brogue.
Oh wait, no, yeah, actually, yeah. Oh no, you're 100% right. Yes, second 3. I've got him with his ass up in the air as he bends down. Yeah, that is. It's a bit misleading because it's like he's almost wearing socks, and then he's tucked his sweatpants into his socks, and then paired with his like wedding shoes. Yeah, it almost gives the illusion that they're boots, but they are. That is 100%. Yeah, it's a nice formal shoe. It paired is. With sort of a kind of green sock with a little jazzy design on it.
Do you think they were like, well, we haven't got any boots that fit this guy. Just do this. This will look fine. No, because again, if you're watching this on like an old VHS or something, you're not going to tell that detail.
No, not at all. But if this is even in terms of filming, it's like, well, where you're. I remember when we did, Grease in secondary school. And they'd always tell you up in rehearsals, like, well, you don't show up in jeans and that kind of stuff. Show up in your exercise, soft shoes, things like that. And then, although this guy is like, I literally own one pair of shoes. It's for all occasions. This is my work shoes. They're my formal shoes. And then when I'm hanging out with the guys, these are also still my shoes. Like, why would anyone ever need more than one pair of shoes? Black leather shoes. Well, they serve all occasions. And they're like, it doesn't really suit.
They look very like they're the ones you would buy for a job interview.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
Maybe he's got a job interview after this filming.
Maybe this is his job interview. And then they're like, you're hired, kid. You can play Vader.
It's so weird. I've seen people tuck in socks, like the trousers into the socks before as well, but only when it's like sports socks. I've never seen it with I don't know what. These don't look like sports socks, and I can't even tell what the pattern is. He's sort of camo.
He's everything about the guy kind of strikes me as a little bit of like, he's fronting. Like he's put on, yeah, I've got exercise clothes because I exercise a lot, right? And everyone's like, I don't think you do, man. And then he's doing little things like, yeah, people, they tuck their sweatpants into their sports socks, right? And it's like, and then you go out to play ball. It's like, they don't go out and play ball. And they're friggin' brogues, asshole. And they're dress shoes and socks. Like, but he's giving off that, no, how's that earlier? You're shooting some hoops with the guys and stuff.
Well, no longer because he's exploded.
Yes. No, he is pate smeared on the floor.
You should just see in the background a big red smear as they're walking away later.
And I really would like just some sort of, again, though, because maybe because we don't know exactly what's coming up in the next few minutes, but some reaction of Jeff just to be like, whoa. Like, okay, so these guys, well, this one guy at least has come for blood, basically. So, yikes. I did not anticipate, like, or maybe a guy accidentally getting, like, a throwing star in the eye or something. That's all fair game. This guy getting crushed to death mid-fight when he doesn't even need to be crushed to death mid-fight is kind of like a, I might have messed with the wrong people kind of thing. But
it's far more violent. It really is.
Or you have the reaction of, say Vader and Kid Rock or someone. They would be the type to be like, holy Christ, Jesus, no. Oh, Jeff, what are we going to do? And Jeff been like, just cracking his knuckles and like, all right, well, let's get into this. Then, like, he would see this as a kind of a, so I don't even have to go easy on these people. Like,
I can do whatever I want to do.
It's like, now you've given me a license to go full, to go hard G, Jeff. Because obviously Jeff is, Geoff. My head canon. He is a G, and he spells it with a G in my head canon. So
he's a straight G. He's from the streets, man.
But speaking of G's, though, so we do have a little brief foray of John running away.
But he's doing the exact same tactic that Mark did.
Yeah, well, if it works.
That's true, and I suppose it makes sense. Mark will have taught him.
Yeah. It's like, do the run away.
Yeah. And then at the last second go, no, I got you.
Let's get
in
some
my
more
lovely crop top.
And then hopefully they'll pick up a giant spool, and if you're lucky, you'll get to crush them underneath it.
That's just a bonus,
That's a once in a lifetime scenario. You pray for things like that to happen.
That's why he had to do it. He had to take that opportunity. Like, this is never going to happen again.
And I love the little, like, because the guy comes in for the kill, and John does a full on, like, just goes up, kicks him in the face. And I love the little shot. They do a little quick cut shot to a close up of the guy's face and a shoe hitting it, like. And I was just really wondering if that was like, if John was generally off camera doing the kick, and like, make sure you get a good close up of it, or if they're like, we want a close up of it, but then it's just literally someone with like a shoe in their hand going like bopping him in the face.
It in his face.
And like, it's so quick, no one will ever notice. It's like, well,
smell my foot.
Because it's a needless cutaway as well. I don't know if they're covering for something maybe that didn't land on screen. Like maybe when John,
it's possible
he did that, it didn't quite look like it connected. So they're like, well, let's you can juice it in cinema. You can literally make it connect by just putting the shoe in your hand and bopping the guy in the nose.
Well, whether they knew what they were doing or not, I actually think they struck gold with this particular little sequence, because I watched that on loop over and over again, and the following little bits he does. I think it looks brutal.
Yeah.
That looks like the most impressively powerful kick so far in the movie. It looks like the guy's head's going to come off.
Well, maybe a potential other problem was that maybe it was. The guy was like, oh, that's a broken jaw right there. Like,
yeah.
Guy
maybe.
is down. And the reason they used that cutaway is like, no, we did have another camera there. And he's like, you're using that shot, God damn it. It's like, I'm freaking have to go to the hospital. I got teeth missing. You're using that shot, for Christ's sake.
You got to learn from Jackie Chan. When Jackie Chan gets hurt, he's like, use it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's I went through nothing. I went through this for nothing.
Then there's a guy, so takes down that one guy. There's another fella comes along. There's another little maneuver, and then there's a third fella comes along, and he does a little nifty thing. If the guy goes in for a punch, John puts up the leg and kind of wraps it around the guy's arm. And it's a nice little. But then the guy and like I couldn't help but think that like he's wearing like a red top with like no sleeves.
Yeah.
And I was really in my mind. I was like, I wonder if it's a Dragon Sound top he's got on.
Just cover up the name, or do you mean he's a fan?
Oh, yeah, he could be like, "Can I get your autograph?" Oh!
They're just beating up fans. This isn't supposed to be a fight.
It's
That's
like
the twist.
It's like, not in the middle of our rescue. God damn it! Our adoring public always coming in at the worst possible moment.
Although, actually, you've hit on something there that we've missed. I mean, there was just a face kick, so that's a drink. And he kicks this guy in the face too, so that's 2 drinks. Take 2.
It takes 2, baby.
Oh, yeah, that's staying in. Do a full rendition for us.
I was saying to fans of Batman will know him as baby roommate. But friend of the podcast, Killian, who's 6 years old.
A friend of Miami Minutes.
Friend of Miami Minutes. Yeah, my friend's kid, Killian. But he was playing, he has a computer game called It Takes Two. And I was playing with him like the other day. But when he told me the title, I started going like, It Takes Two. And he's like, your daddy keeps singing that every time we put this on as well. It's like, great minds, kid. But if you say the words, It Takes Two to anybody and aren't singing it, everybody's going to instantly go, It Takes Two, baby.
Clearly not little kids.
You missed that period of 90s rom-coms where it was featured in the trailer for every single one of them.
Literally, I think every single... That's probably a true fact right there.
Including It Takes Two.
I know, the joke will be it's not in that one.
It's like that movie, Just Like Heaven, with Mark Ruffalo and Reese Witherspoon just sitting waiting the entire movie. It's like, there's going to be a montage to it or something, right? Got to the end of the film. No, nothing.
At the very least, they should just chuck it in at the credits to wind you up even more. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake, why is it here?
But I think It Takes Two. I think there was a Mary-Kate and Ashley one, maybe.
I don't remember.
Them getting their parents together or something. And I don't know. It was like a kind of Parent Trap scenario. But like, yeah, you got a couple of movies like this. Like, remember Whip It? You know, the Drew Barrymore movie, Whip It, with Elliot Page and Juliette Lewis.
I fucking loved. I watch that all the time. I love that movie.
At no point does the song Whip It play throughout Whip It. I say, well, why the hell you put it there? Then it's like musical blue balls you're giving me over here.
I wonder if maybe the intention was to get it, and at the last minute some sort of deal fell through, and they're like, "Fuck it, we've committed to the name."
Yeah, when Mark Mothersbaugh watched it, he's like, "I hate this movie. It's the one thing I won't lend my name to."
Nobody could hate that movie. It's great. If you hate that movie, I hate you.
That's the amount of times, yeah, too. Like, nearly, I was shocked the other day. I saw something. And it came up music by Mark somebody else. It's like I'm so used to seeing music by Mark Mothersbaugh.
There's more than one Mark.
Yeah, he does. But it's the fact that he does so many schools. But, more than one Mark. One in Miami Connection, of course. So let's not get too sidetracked again.
Although I do now want, I would say friend of the show, but I don't think she's listened to this, Alexia. I would like her to do a Whip It minute now, because I think someone who regularly does do that sport should host it. Yeah,
she's a roller derby lady. Yeah.
I want to do it, but the only one for anyone, let's say male-bodied, is now in the Wirral. It used to be in Garston. I could have made that. I'm not going to the fucking Wirral 2 days a week. When I don't drive, great, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, yes. Let's see Alexia's actually. I've only ever seen pictures. I don't know how brutal she is out on the court.
You've got to be brutal. It's not soft because they do it down the road from us, and I go see it sometimes, and it's wow.
She never seems like she's too battered and bruised after anything. But I don't know. She's not out there going like, yeah, I got a black eye. My freaking tongue came out the other day.
Someone always gets injured. Basically, there's always hurt people.
But speaking though of musical legends, we then of course get swinging into action to once again humiliate himself. It is Dexys comes in full force here.
This is one of my favorite bits. Because first of all, finally he's doing something to help the boys out because he hasn't done much either.
Yeah, but then also too, so. Because we'll find out later, Jeff was apparently still sitting, waiting. He was right next to Jeff. So I guess
Jeff was waiting for the crucial moment.
Well, I have thoughts about what Jeff was up to, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
He was building up his power level.
But then once again, so this is the third time this guy is... Actually, no, it's only his second time with Dragon Sound. But in his mind, I guess third time, because he also got his ass beat by Club Owner, then by Dragon Sound. Oh, wait, no, he will. Well, actually, I guess it'll be the fourth time, because then in the train yard, there was also a ruckus.
And I'd say the Club Owner counts, because in his mind, he's connecting all these things, because that fight only happened because of Dragon Sound.
Yeah, so he's
in his mind, even though he was the prick.
I think he has blurred it in his memory to be like, yeah, that was me fighting Dragon Sound. It's like a completely different... He's probably beating up random homeless people, thinking it was Dragon Sound, But yeah, he comes in holding a metal pole as if it's a rifle.
Yeah, this is is it supposed to be a gun?
We did, the previous minute, we did have, there were, him and his, one of his Midnight Runners were holding something as if they were guns. I can't remember what we said they were.
Well, I thought it looked a bit like a kind of, like an air rifle rather than, but this looks bigger again.
Yeah, but, and this doesn't, like, it might have been safety on set or something, but this doesn't look like, this looks like it's just a metal pole that he's brandishing as if it is a gun. And then it's dropped very quickly, like, because, I don't
know, it does actually have, you know what, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, actually. If you go to second 22, I think it does have like a flared base.
Let's
so
see.
I'm not sure.
Oh, I guess actually no, maybe it does. Oh, yeah, no, actually no. Actually, to be fair. Now seeing him in still at second 23, it actually almost looks like a friggin' pump action shotgun he's got.
Yeah, but in motion it didn't. And when you couple it with what we saw in the previous scenes. So maybe they got hold of one for one shot.
I mean, what happens next, I think, is probably the best thing for him, because considering how much this guy has lost throughout, how, like, he always gets his ass handed to him. If he came in there with actual firearms, he would definitely, like, blow his own dick off or something. Like, there's no way this would go into, like, I was gonna go in and blow those sons of bitches away. He was talking about, I was gonna shoot them out of the sky and all this stuff. He would definitely, like, he'd end up like in Preacher, the comic book series Preacher.
God, yeah.
The guy who tries to kill himself by shooting himself in the face with a shotgun and ends up, alive, very bright and friendly and optimistic, and like hideously deformed. Arseface, they keep calling him. That would be Dexy's future. I'd imagine he would accidentally shoot himself in the face, survive, and then be just going around going, "You sons of bitches, you blew my face off." Like, it was you! You blew your own face off! You got yourself fired!
But it's because of them!
That we did nothing to you! Well, leave us alone!
Never!
We really need to get that. That guy, the Leave Britney Alone guy, is on... did he die? The Leave Britney Alone guy? Or am I making that up?
Right, I was going to say no. I don't think so. Chris Crocker? I think they might have. I think they might have transitioned.
I remember seeing something about Chris Crocker lately, and it been like it might have been good for them, or it might have been like, oh, that's so sad.
Let me
see.
Yes, new name, Cara Cunningham.
Okay, that's fair enough. Well, at the they, but that's what they're going by now.
Yes,
if they are on Cameo and they are alive. Unless they're going to end up going the way of the Coolio cameo that we had planned for Batman and Robin, where Coolio just flat out died on us.
Well, I'm going to look it up right now. I do know they have an OnlyFans. We could always go that route.
I don't actually know on Cameo because they would definitely get it all the time. But if we
wait, hang on. Yeah, they're on Cameo.
There we go.
$49.99.
I mean, that's doable. That's a doable.
That's not that bad, is it?
But we could get one of just like, leave Dragon Sound alone.
Actually, I've done them a disservice. $48.99.
Oh, it's getting cheaper by the dozen over here. It's also a hit rom-com from a couple of years back.
Yeah. Okay. I'm into this. It's also then recommended other people you might want to get a video from. Corey Feldman.
I thought it was going to be Britney Spears.
How much is Corey Feldman? $244.99.
No, that sounds about right for Corey. Yeah, I mean,
I
don't think he'd be worth it.
If it was 50 quid, I'd buy one.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think Corey Feldman thinks a lot of himself. So, he's Corey's always like. I think he's got a lot of because he had all that stuff about like. I'm sure he did suffer abuse and stuff when he was a kid in Hollywood, and that was always the big famous. He always comes out and says, "Yeah, I've got the names and numbers of all these people. Oh, I could take down all this Hollywood, but you gotta buy my book first, and all this other stuff." And it's always very like, I'm sure it did happen, dude, Corey, but also just go out for the good of the people. Go out and just freaking report everybody, and
Yeah, I get he wants to make money, absolutely, but when it comes down to like safety and things, I don't know if you should be doing that.
Yeah. I know he was the one. We talked briefly about it in Batman Forever, because of course Drew Barrymore grew up Hollywood, little girl surrounded by it. But Drew Barrymore, despite all the despite all the drugs and the alcohol, and the Drew Barrymore divorced her parents, and she was addicted to coke when she was like 12 and stuff like that. Never any sexual stuff. And I remember Corey Feldman in an interview saying, "Yeah, that's because like all the people knew not to touch her because it was Steven Spielberg's like little girl.
Yeah,
like she was
like a...
It's like you don't mess with you can mess with any of these other kids, but Steven Spielberg's a powerful guy, so you don't touch a kid that he has like he's close to Drew Barrymore in the family, So if anything happened to Drew, you'd have to answer to Steven Spielberg, basically.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason. Apparently, Corey Feldman's like, oh, that's the only reason that she's not like traumatized from another thing that happened in her life, beyond all the stuff that she is undoubtedly currently traumatized by being taken to clubs by her mom when she was like 8 and stuff. So
fucking hell, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Anyway. But enough of this darkness. Back to Miami Connection, where Dexys has a little surprise, in store. I don't know if this was a pre-planned move or
I love this. I died laughing.
If Jim, this was his gambit the whole time. It's like, I'm gonna hide in this thing, and eventually someone's gonna stand in front of it, and when they do. That's when Jim strikes, baby.
He's literally hiding in a bin, in a trash can. It's fucking genius. He's like a fucking Sesame Street character.
I say we can say Jim the Grouch. He's like the most bright, optimistic character they have.
He's the opposite. Like the inverse.
He is like sort of like. Nega Oscar in this. Yeah. Like he is his shadow self, but Oscar the Grouch's shadow self is just a really nice, bright, optimistic fella.
Also, can I just ask, what does he hit him in the? Because he smacks him in the back of the head. Is he hitting him with the handle of an axe?
Let's see. That one's tough, I think, because it is like. Oh no, I think because
it's like a fucking axe. He's got it like backwards, so he doesn't accidentally smash him in the skull with the blade.
Yeah, so if you pause it, like it's either an axe or like a pipe with something else attached to it. But like, second like 29. I don't know.
There's a bit coming off it, isn't there?
There's a thing. I don't know. It almost looks like a hockey stick that's been cut down.
That would be a bit less dangerous.
Yeah, but it's also.
It's thick though.
It is thick. I don't know if the actual thing that goes out, it looks a bit too long to be an axe. But it's also like I don't think it's a hockey stick either. I think it's like
a hoe.
A hoe. I think it might just be a bit of pipe. It's just a little bit of like.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Jim's out there laying pipe.
Hey, pipe master. That's his new. He's the pipe master, Jim.
Although I remember, it was a sitcom a couple of years ago where there's a big debate about the difference between laying pipe and laying cable. Well, I think they were trying to say like, no, laying pipe means like taking the dump, and and then laying cable that means having sex.
I thought that was a dump.
Well, maybe it is. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it's the other way around. So, listeners, do write in if you know the difference between laying cable, and laying pipe.
We need the scientific explanation.
But yeah. We have noted in the past that Jim is not part of Dragon Sound's, Taekwondo segment. Like he wasn't there during the training. We didn't see him really do anything in the previous fights. And it's weird because it works for Tom because it's like, well, that's Angelo. He's doing the music, so he's that guy. But then Jim is like, I guess maybe like, well, he's the best actor we have, so we want him in the movie, but he also can't fight, so. He just hides out, I guess. Like
I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think it's like, well, he's not the best fighter, but people are going to love him. So he needs to do something.
The energy this gives me of him hiding in that barrel is, and then coming out and like doing a little move. It reminds me at the end of Die Hard when Theo's trying to escape, and then Argyle pops out of nowhere. And like runs his limo into him, and then comes over and then like punches him in the head, and has this little kind of like, "Yay, I did something" kind of moment. Like it's the same kind of vibe. Of like it's like oh, Jim's been hiding in this barrel, and then I'm like, I got an opportunity, and he goes out and whacks him. He's like, "Hey, I did it! I took out a guy." But then no, Dexy ain't down for the count just yet.
Oh, amazing.
Also, he could be in there as soon as I see any kind of. People in barrels at all. It always reminds me of the time I went to see when I was a student, and it was the first time. When you're a student, you want to seem like you're sophisticated, and
of course, yes,
and you understand all this stuff. I saw a production of Play by Samuel Beckett.
Oh, very fancy.
I don't know if you're familiar with Play.
Heard of it, I haven't seen it.
It is three people. There was a BBC that did a production of it with Alan Rickman and Kristen Scott Thomas and Juliette Stevenson. Because it's three people in urns, like barrels, like this. And it's their head popped out the top, and they've covered them in like gray makeup, and they're all reciting with absolutely no breaks and no sort of emphasis on any particular word, and they're just coming out of things the whole time, and they're just speaking like this the entire way. At exactly the same time, so you can't make out a single word they're saying.
For the whole duration? Yeah,
there's 16 minutes of just like blah, 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 and it just sounds like, friggin' bees buzzing after a while.
That kind of reminded me of, the commentators you get at the horse racing.
Oh, yeah. Coming up, the beach is broken. Yeah, the same kind of thing, but it's just like you're watching, that BBC one. I'm sure you can probably get that on iPlayer. It's just Alan Rickman. Just like, and I'm sure, like, although I think I looked it up like afterwards. And I remember, like, the Wikipedia saying, like, it was not well received upon its debut or something. And I'm like, I can understand why.
No shit.
It seems pretty terrible, but, like, I'm sure some people have got like, oh, no. But it's just in terms of, like, well, the actors aren't really doing anything except reciting things at speed. There's no emotion in it. I guess maybe if the makeup was good, it would be something. But anytime I see someone pop out of a barrel, like even Oscar the Grouch now, when I see him, I'm just like, oh yeah, Play by Samuel
Flashbacks to that, like, oh no.
It's like, come back waiting for Godot, all is forgiven. But maybe Jim was in there rehearsing for his audition for Play. That was so I'm getting out of the music business, guys. I think I gotta. There's just a production of that with Jim and two other people in the barrels going.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm never going to see this the same way, and I haven't even seen this play.
But yeah. So anyway, Dexy's taken by surprise, and they get into a light scuffle, I would say. Seems as if
because Dexy starts beating the shit out of him. He doesn't do much to Dexy.
Yeah, we got they have a kind of little like bear hug thing going on, and then eventually Dexy gets Jim down, and he does at least seem like, because I think he was another guy who was he was part of the YK Kim's studio.
Oh yeah, definitely 1,000%. He's mentioned it, yeah,
and he's like beyond the blows he lands, even just his stance, he's got a kind of proper fighter stance going on. Like, he knows what he's doing, at least. Whereas Jim does not have that. He is just there to be the walking billboard for Adidas. Or as I believe they call it in America, Adidas.
They do. And I've never understood that because, the founders, it's Adi Dassler. That's the guy's name. So
maybe it was Adidasler.
Adidasler. Yeah, no, it's Adi Dassler. So I don't really know why Americans pronounce it that way. Adi is actually short for Adolf. So so maybe it's to get away from that.
It could be. So Americans, if you know what's wrong with you, do write in.
Hey, that could be a very long letter.
Oh, balls in this brick. Anyway, back to America. We're back to Orlando in particular. So then Jim does stand up and he's trying at least. Like he's not cowering. He is very much like the actor clearly can't fight. Jim as a character, I don't think can fight really.
No, but he's trying.
He is. He's not. Bowing down. He's like, there could have been, cut scenes of them been like, Jim, you're not gonna be much good to us out there, but no, man, I gotta help Tom. He's my boy. all this kind of stuff.
I gotta save my best friend.
Exactly. So he's just like, oh, I want to be there. So at least he's got that going for him. Even though he does have to be saved by the. I have to say, Dexy getting off easy, considering what we spent the majority of this episode talking about, is that Mark comes back in for the kill. If you pause at 42 seconds after he hits Dexy's in the back, the look on YK Kim's face is like, I'd see that in my nightmares. Like, that's horrifying. Like, that's something.
He's gone full evil, hasn't he?
That's the kind of thing like you expected, in The Exorcist when you get little flashes of Pazuzu, the demon. If that was the demon's face, I'd be like, ah! It's like,
right. We need to make a T-shirt of Mark as Pazuzu. We absolutely have to do that.
YK Pazuzu.
That'd be great. That'd be the best T-shirt of all time.
You find out that's his last name. It's been his last name the whole time. I was like, I only go by Mark. I was like, what's your last name? It is the name of a very recognizable demon.
And that's what this site is. This is where they dug up Pazuzu.
That's why he's like at his most powerful here. It's like been on home soil or whatever. But the thing is, okay, so again, I keep thinking that this is the last we see of Dexys like several times throughout the movie. So I don't know whether to call it now. Like, oh, he gets off with this, or if he is destined for like a really horrific death later. I don't remember how.
I can remember a little bit. So I'm not going to spoil it though.
It would be anticlimactic if this was the end of Dexys now. The other times where it was like, we were the only people really seeming to be like, oh yeah, what a character, Mark. That kind of, what a crack in the back, Mark.
What a character, Mark.
Like, it felt as if like, oh, so we're making more out of this character than potentially the movie is. And now as it's gone on, it's like, no, Dexys is a much bigger character in the movie than I had originally remembered. But now it's kind of like, if him just getting whacked in the back by Mark is the end of him, I would be very disappointed, I'd have to say.
Yeah, I think everyone would. It'd be shit, right? Yeah. Especially because of what Mark's just been doing. At least rip his throat out.
Yeah. And considering, it's we gotta get one more son of a bitch out of this guy. Like,
as he dies, he's like, oh, you son of a bitch.
Look at Mark rips out his larynx or something, and then as it's in his hand, the larynx itself just goes, "You son of a bitch!" And he smushes it and throws it on the ground. Or something.
Then for the rest of the movie, Mark just hears it on the wind every now and then. Son of a bitch, Lowenstein.
It's not even in that kind of like ethereal voice though. It's just you just hear the wind going, "You son of a bitch."
You son of a bitch, Lowenstein. My name is Mark.
But I thought it was Pazuzu. That's a secret.
Don't tell anyone.
But anyway, so then he's seeming Jeff's down, or not Jeff, Dexys is down.
Well, yeah, because Mark goes fucking nuts with a pole.
Yeah, but he's getting off easy, and then Jim's been saved. I gotta say, there is a little bit of a vibe here that these actors are all just running around not knowing what they're doing now, because like Tom is up. He's up there. Go get him up there. But it's just people appearing here, there, and everywhere.
It's two different tactics. As a gamer, I know this, right? Two different tactics. Do you go immediately to the objective, or do you take care of enemies around, like go methodical? Different tactics, I'm more of a direct-to-objective person, which doesn't always work.
Yeah. I think just in terms of, I'm not too sure if they're trying to make their way towards Tom or now if they're just running around rampant, and things are just going.
Well, as we said last week, they forgot about him. Like, oh yeah, wait, our friend. I was too busy killing people.
Oh, no, actually, no, to be fair, oh my God. I'm catching myself out here because at around second 47, 48 on the dot, Mark and Jim run in the shot, and Mark does go and points upwards as if like, go get Tom, I guess. Maybe this is Jim's role. It's supposed to be, you can't fight, but if you hide in the barrel, me, John, and Jack Joe Diamond, the fighters of the group, we will take out everybody else. Even though Jack Joe's not appeared as yet, but there's always next minute
though, because I mean, you see Jack here. At the end of the minute,
Yeah.
But if the idea was they're going to go and fight and distract everyone, well, they failed because Jack's only just going to get to get him.
It seems that potentially he's instructing Jim to go up, and then we cut to the most confusing last couple of seconds of it because Jeff still seems as if he's there going, huh.
Yeah, I'm livid. I'm angry watching this. What the fuck?
And you realize, like, your boy Dexys, he's gone. It's like, the Vader 2 has been crushed. what are you doing, man? Get off your ass. But then it turns out he was already off his ass, I guess. Because it was just like, to go along. Yeah, so we have Joe Jack Horseman, about to climb up. And then, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, with, I have to say, ruthless efficiency.
Yeah.
Jeff just appears as if he were Pazuzu the demon.
He just, it's like he's teleported. He just pops up like, "Hurrah!"
I'm wondering now if it is sort of like a, that's as I alluded to at the start of the minute there, like, it's a thing he's done in his deep training with Yoshito. Because we know Yoshito
that sounds
has
sexy.
Well, maybe there is a potential sapphic, tantric quality to their whole, their relationship.
Be like, so
that's
Jeff,
that's why Jeff's very much like, I know we spent some time together, Yoshito, but I don't think about you that way. But like, if Jeff has always been coiled here waiting, and he's like astrally projecting himself over to the chair to make it seem, and he's doing like a loop, so it's like in Speed, where they put like the, or in that episode of The Simpsons, of course, where they put the loop of Sandy B and Keanu driving the bus on the security camera, so Dennis Hopper doesn't notice that they're actually like evacuating the bus and stuff. And so Jeff's been there astrally projecting his form over to the chair to look as if he's doing nothing, and it's going, "Bah, is something happening? Bah, is something happening? Bah." And meanwhile, they're like, this idiot doesn't even know what's going on. No, he's right there waiting, right by the base of where Tom is, hoping that some idiot's going to come along, and then he's got them. He's got them exactly where he wants them.
I love this idea. Yeah, I think you're right. That's why he's not moved. I've told you he's waiting for the moment.
Yeah. You'll see later on in the background, like in the middle of a bigger fight, Jeff versus Mark, you'll still see in the background a Jeff in the chair going, "Bah, what is happening?" Like, back
it's
and
all
forth.
a distraction.
And that's why, and then Dexys will be like, "Oh, that's why he wasn't talking to me. It wasn't that he doesn't like me. It was that
he really loves me."
And Jeff will be like, "Who are you again?" "Oh, don't you owe me money? Don't you owe me like your entire earnings for the rest of your life or something?"
We'll talk about that later. All that matters is you love me.
Like I keep telling Yoshito, not that way, okay? But yeah, Jeff, and to be fair, we do know that the actor playing Jeff is like one of the, I think he's one of the best students that YK has.
Yes.
Which is why he's utilized in the final fight so much in roles even beyond Jeff. And you get almost from his little maneuver he does here with Joe Jack, you get why. Like,
is this that spinning kick?
It's so he comes in, he grabs him down, also kicking him in the ass as he's grabbing him down. He does a little, the foot goes up lightning quick, hits him once. And then as he's down, he does a proper full body, like a Jean-Claude Van Damme, kind of like fucking, spinning kick thing.
Yeah, he does a little twirl as he does it. As you say, he's worlds apart from a lot of the other... Not that the other people are bad or anything, but this guy, like, if you told me, he's in loads of films, I'd be like, yeah, okay. Yeah,
if you told me he was like Chuck Norris' stand-in,
yeah,
I would believe you. Yeah, because he's even got, like, you can see that he clearly is a guy who works out. He's got the, he's not even selling tickets to the gun show. The gun show's free. Like, it's just he's got that vest on. You can see that. No, this is a guy. He knows what he's doing. He's always known. We always knew that Jeff was a force to deal with.
And I think the difference as well is, like, as we've said about a lot of them, all of them are amazing martial artists, of course. But a lot of them aren't comfortable on camera. And obviously filming martial arts for a movie is a different thing to just performing them, But he seems a natural at it. He is a natural on the camera, I think.
That's because it's a good shot, because when he does that little spin kick and then he's standing over, his enemy. It does, it's a very dynamic look he has because he's sitting there, he's doing the old kind of claw hands thing, the kind of Krav Maga kind of look, kind of vibe about it. Yeah. So it makes me look forward to the next minute to see Jeff in full flight. Hopefully we'll actually get seeing just how ruthless this guy can be. Now that he's not just sitting on his ass, seemingly baffled by the events, or not even baffled, just unaware that the events are even occurring around him.
Right. Not that I want this to happen necessarily, but if you were writing this now, I feel like a lot of screenwriters and filmmakers would choose this moment. You'd have Jeff kill Jack in combat, and it would be like, holy fuck. Because I love Jack, right? But he is one character you could lose.
Yeah, he's not done much.
No.
Everyone else has their little thing of like, well, Tom's the music guy. Jim's Jim. He's good fun. We all love him. John is John. You know, he's the love interest. He's the romantic lead. And Mark is obviously just the best of God.
Well, Jack's like too nice.
Yeah, Jack's just sort of like, he is the sort of like, yeah, we also just needed... He feels like cannon fodder, almost. Like,
yeah.
It almost feels like he should be the guy up there tied to the post, but I guess he's like, no, he actually does do the taekwondo, though, so...
That's the difference. He is a good... Yeah, you might not think it, but he's a great martial artist, you're right.
Yeah, he's more of the... Like, we just need bodies. We need bodies for... We need people to be able to, like, do fights and stuff, so... He's just like we're gonna go on tour and all our countries and out every night and all
well, imagine the stakes, because I don't think Jeff should kill, obviously, John, because that's then the tension's sort of mostly gone then. But again, I'm not saying do it, because I like it as it is. I don't want to change the movie. But if you kill Jack, it would be like a big holy shit moment. Like, oh, anyone can go now. Like, this is, it would add tension.
Although I guess it might change the end, because the death of Jim is such a big thing that sets Mark off near the end. That spoilers for the end of the movie, by the way.
Well,
and then again, like,
wait and see on that.
Oh, that's the death of the quote unquote death of Jim. And then we find out if Jack died here, and then you find out like, oh, by the way, also his father's now flown in as well. And it's that same actor comes up.
That'd be amazing. That guy got around.
He's like, yeah, I was doing a tour of all these guys' home countries.
Yeah, it's a strange coincidence that they're all the places he was posted. There's just orphaned children everywhere.
You know, Dragon Sound, you have like 15 brothers out there as well. I'm a busy man, you know.
They could become like the polyphonic spree. You
know what? I would absolutely love it.
Like a weird cult band, you know.
Like they just got really Tom gets really pretentious and turns into they turn into like Arcade Fire.
Yeah, don't they have like 1 million members?
Yeah. Oh, I don't want people to misinterpret that. I love Arcade Fire.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can love them and make fun of them, you know.
Oh yeah, they are very pretentious, but you know they've earned that pretension because they're very good.
Yeah. But sometimes that's part of the fun.
Yeah. No, they're an artsy band. That's what I love about them. So, but yeah, that's all the notes I got for minute 66.
Well, I've only got 2 things. First off, have another drink because it's a kick to the face, baby. I went slow motion.
Yeah.
Right. And I also have... there's not much in the commentary track again. They're just kind of waffling. But I did like one bit where they say how YK Kim came into this pretty much solely as a martial artist and not as a movie fan. He said, like, he hadn't seen many movies because he spent all of his free time training. Oh, so he didn't really know, like, well, this is what you do in films. He's just like, I don't know, like, I know martial arts and I read what you do in films in this book, so let's just do that. Let's do that. And I think it works and it doesn't work. It's kind of both. You know, it's part of the earnestness and part of why we love it, because it's just a martial artist wanting to show cool shit.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how you're meant to do it, so to speak. And why should he?
No, that's fair enough. This is weird enough. I was listening to a thing earlier today about Murphy Brown, the sitcom.
Oh God, yeah.
Which is never really a big thing over here, but apparently it was a huge deal in America, particularly because like in the 1992 presidential election, it came up because one of the candidates was giving out about the fact that Murphy Brown he somehow changed the topic from the Rodney King beating into how the moral decay of America had gone so far as that Murphy Brown was now a single mother on TV by choice and stuff like this. But let's say, because Candice Bergen obviously plays Murphy Brown, and there's a whole thing where they're saying like, yeah, she claimed before she took on the role that she had never even seen a sitcom before, and I was like, bull plop. No way you claim, even in the mid-'80s, that you haven't seen a sitcom before. Like,
that's nuts.
You've definitely seen, like, the Dick Van Dyke Show at some point when you're a kid. Come on, man.
Everyone's seen that.
Yeah.
I used to love that.
Oh, yeah, Dick Van Dyke Show is still. Remember, it was added to Netflix there a couple of years back. I ended up going through it. It's like, oh, I'm really enjoying this. But yeah, that was me. The only other note I have potentially is the fact that we're on minute 66 and we didn't even do a execute order 66 joke at any point. So,
oh my God, that should have been Jeff saying that as well.
Execute order kick to the face.
That's what order 66 is. Yeah, it's a kick to the face. It's like,
or if it would be Dexter's going, execute order, son of a bitch.
Oh my God, that's the title. That's the title right there. Execute order, son of a bitch. Am I allowed to put swear words in the titles? We're gonna find out, listeners. If it gets banned, it's all on you.
Oh, you just put a little star with where the eye should be or something like that. I think you get away with it then. Surely.
I might tempt fate. Let's see. Let's see. If it gets taken down, I blame Niall.
Or where the B would be, so some people would read it as son of an itch. So.
Oh.
But yeah,
don't trust the itch in apartment 66.
There's a new sitcom starring Candice Bergen, who's never seen a sitcom before.
There you go. That's our new thing.
It's Kristen Ritter, Candice Bergen, and Jeff is the dad.
It's coming soon to ABC. That's a channel in America. I don't know what the fuck.
Well, no, remember ABC was also a channel over here for a bit, and that's where I really learned how bad American TV is for adverts.
Oh, it's literally like, don't you get that cold open, and then there's like the intro, and then there's the ad or something.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And then there's times where, sometimes you'll see like a sitcom will have its end scene, and it'll cut, and then over here it just cuts to like whatever the scene is over the end credits.
Yeah.
And no, on the ABC show, that used to be, or the ABC channel, that used to just be like, yep, this is what it is, and they'd be showing like Scrubs or whatever. It was like, yeah, you'd go away to an ad break, and then they'd come back to show you the credits. It's
no,
like, what is this? Who would ever do that? That's insane. But
that's
apparently,
nuts.
Yeah, this is so. I understand why streaming's taken off so much, particularly in America, because over here it's not that bad.
No,
but like,
it's annoying. But what do we get? Like, you get one in the middle of a show and one at the end.
Yeah.
That's it, really. Yeah.
It's but no, I don't know. Now I'm, now we're a spoiled generation because I cannot take adverts in any form whatsoever. So
I'm so used to being able to. I refuse to even acknowledge them.
And then we go back at my dad's, and it's just normal TV, and I'm just like, what? Come on, what we did? How are we still dealing with this? But
that's why I've not watched TV in 12 years.
Yeah, that's why. And then after my brief sojourn into the ABC channel, was be like, oh, I would never. If I was in America, I just wouldn't watch TV. I would just go and literally do anything else because the amount of adverts would kill me.
Except for our new show, you got to watch that. You got to watch that. And Miami Minutes are doing a live from Madison Square Garden show that's going to be shown. That's a Netflix special though. That's a bit different.
Yeah.
That's coming next holiday season.
That's it. Because those tickets are still on sale, people. They're still on sale. They're still,
so
I'm sure
pick them up.
If we've got any tickets left, just looking over, seeing the giant piles of them. Like, yeah, a couple.
It's rumored that we're going to sell out the garden. So make sure you get in there early, get in there quick.
And not just John's garden this time.
Don't reveal the secret. But join us again in 1 week for more Miami Minutes. Speak to us in the meantime on Facebook at the Miami Minutes Taekwondo Orphanage, on Twitter at Miami Minutes, Instagram Miami Minutes, and I don't know, email us miamiminutespodcast@gmail.com. Emails are always fun. Nobody really uses them anymore, so it's quite exciting when you do get one. It's like, it's an email that's not just trying to give me some sort of a voucher for a shop I don't want to use. Great. Or the ones I get going, you need to update your bank details with the website host because you haven't done it, and you're about to lose Miami Minutes, .kim.
That sounds stressful, but okay.
Yeah, it is. Because you forget, because I signed up to it years ago, and you forget, and then it goes, by the way, you're going to lose access to it tomorrow, and you're like, oh shit. So yes, do all of that. Join us again in 1 week for more Miami Minutes. Leave dragon sound alone.
Listen to me.